Back then, I figured, look, if this thing doesn't work, Bitcoin goes to zero, I would find another job very quickly. I can always find another job, and the chance of Bitcoin going to zero is zero. This thing will not disappear. So once I figured that out, I was all in. The thing people focus on, there's a lot of misconceptions or narratives that are wrong. So I think we should just use more blockchain to save energy.
Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Crypto. In this video, we have Binance CEO CZ talking about the latest developments in crypto, why he's so confident about the future and how this technology will continue to evolve. Despite the recent events and accusations of Binance and CZ having orchestrated the collapse of FTX, CZ seems to be immune to the critics and focused on building. In his latest interview at Davos, Switzerland, while at the WEF 2023 event, CZ shared his view on the industry's contribution to sustainability, stating that all the FUD around Bitcoin's energy consumption is basically BS. Let's listen to CZ as he explains why he went all in on Bitcoin and how this technology will only continue to grow, despite all the setbacks it may face over time. But before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel, as we bring you daily content on the latest crypto news. And now, let's jump right into the video.
So I come to learn about Bitcoin in mid 2013. And I've been reading about the white paper, downloaded the wallet, playing with it. There's much less material back then than there is now. I understood the technology, and I think, well, it might work, but we need a community behind it. So that's why I went to a conference in December 2013, and at the time, the news headlines were all Silk Road, drug lords using Bitcoin, etc. But when you entered the conference, Vitalik was there, Matt Rozek was there. It was a bunch of geeks, a bunch of kids, the programmers, the developers, the bunch of really, really nice people. And then after that conference, I said, if this is a community that's behind it, I can do it. So that's why after that conference, I quit my job, started looking for a new job in the crypto industry, the Bitcoin industry back then, and then I sold my apartment and converted that into Bitcoin.
Wow, you really dive in both feet first. I mean, that's quite a commitment.
Risk is different for different people. So back then, I figured, look, if this thing doesn't work, Bitcoin goes to zero, I would find another job very quickly. I can always find another job, and the chance of Bitcoin going to zero is zero. Bitcoin's a technology that's evolving. So we've seen that with the internet. There can be ups and downs with the companies performing well, not well, but the internet itself is growing. So technologies don't go away. Big technologies like Bitcoin, internet, the concept in our heads. If we shut down Bitcoin, if we shut down internet today, there will be internet too, because we know how to do it now. Yep. So this thing will not disappear. So once I figured that out, I was all in. So the risk would be like, any company, etc., or any project I was involved with have some risks. I can always get a different job. I cannot comment on specific projects. I have a rule not to do that.
That's fine.
I get into, I get all kind of accusations of potential, manipulation, whatever. But I think every use case is important. The market will determine which ones are more important than others by adoption, right? So if you're working on a use case that addresses a key concern, then you will see more usage of your product. So I think layer ones are really important. Layer ones within enterprises, I think that's got to be very important. Like that's the number of transactions may be lower, but the volume should be much higher. If they're fully deployed compared to the traditional sort of transactions. So I think and layer twos are important. Wallets are important. Even liquidity providers are important. Yeah. So I think all of those use cases are super important. Yeah. So I think, look, you guys have been building for a long time. You guys been in the industry for a while, and continue to build. I think we all contribute something into the ecosystem.
Being accused of price manipulation seems to be a constant for Binance, as we witnessed with the case of FTX, where CZ was accused of intentionally driving the FTX token price down, causing FTX to collapse in just a few days. So what advice would he give to young entrepreneurs that are looking to build in this space? And what lessons can we learn from the catastrophic events we saw in 2022?
I think actually the key lesson that we learn is let's go back to basics, right? Let's stick with fundamentals. Let's build sustainable businesses. Let's focus on the technology. So let's build use cases, build products people use. So I think, look, all the hype goes away. When the tide recedes, all the hype goes away. It's the fundamentals that matter. So all this talk, all this, everything else doesn't matter. So I think that's what it is really. So I think we got to continue to build products people use, keep everything safe, be very reliable, and work closely with regulators. And then trust is built over time. Well, there's actually 3 parts to building trust. We're in an industry where we can use some of the technologies that are trustless. So we can be more transparent, proof of reserves, Merkle trees, Zcash snarks, etc. So we can use those. Those are technology driven. The second part is to be more transparent. Be more transparent with our community, with our users, with regulators. And then the third part, which really takes time, trust is built over time. If we can consistently demonstrate we're reliable, we're consistent, we do what we say, we will earn our users' trust over time. So I think we've done that for the last 5.5 years, and we'll continue to do that hopefully for the next 500 years. The simplest thing I would say is don't focus on the money, focus on the users. So there's many different ways to say that. In our industry, we're so close. We're in a money industry. We're so close to the money. You can issue a coin. You can have large supply. You can sell them. Then suddenly you're a multimillionaire. You can even be a billionaire. But so many people get distracted by that, and that's all they focus on. Instead, then we should be focusing on product and users. Make sure you build a product that people use, and people use consistently. If you can do that, the realization of the value or the monetization of it you can always do it. So I think, look, just focus on building products people use and not get distracted by money.
Being at the WEF event in Davos, how does CZ address the sustainability and energy efficiency concerns surrounding Bitcoin and blockchain technology?
Actually, it's very simple. I strongly believe blockchain is the most energy efficient money network. So the blockchain is more efficient than traditional banks, other financial institutions, etc. It's the most energy efficient network for managing the amount of assets it's managing. Even the Bitcoin network, even though it uses proof of work, mining, electricity mining, etc., it's already the most efficient money network compared to anything that existed before that. And as you said, there are newer blockchains that use much less energy. So the proof of stake networks, etc. So they use maybe like 1/1000th of the energy that Bitcoin uses. But all the blockchains in the world are extremely efficient. So actually, if we are talking about sustainability and energy efficiency, people should want to use blockchain. Using blockchain saves a lot of energy. The thing people focus on, there's a lot of misconceptions or narratives that are wrong, because we can measure the Bitcoin mining energy spending, that it's a large number, and I think that's bad. But I can guarantee you it's more efficient than any bank that you have to use, because you can just see from the transaction fees. Today, if you want to send $1 million on the Bitcoin network, it costs you $1. If you want to do that through a bank, it's going to cost you more. That means the banks are using more energy to move those funds. So I think we should just use more blockchain to save energy.
What would CZ's message be for people who are still skeptical of the crypto industry, especially given the recent events?
I think the simplest thing is, this is just a new technology for money, right? And the technology doesn't go away. So if we backtrack a bit, if we think about the internet, the internet was just a new technology for transferring information. That's all it is. It's just TCP/IP packets over the wire or over the air. And with that simple technology, we built this entire ecosystem out of it. There's social media, there's search, there's e-commerce, there's many things. We can't even really imagine the world without internet now. But that just comes from the technology to transfer information. And blockchain is a new technology to transfer value. So if internet deals with information, now we're dealing with money. This new technology is going to have much bigger impact than that technology that deals with money or with information. So I think the impacts are going to be quite big. And it's actually because the impacts are so big, we actually need to proceed slowly and carefully and steadily. so that we don't cause big disruptions. We can have small iterations, but big disruptions are bad. So so that's how I view it, how I conceptualize it. So it's not about any single coin, it's not about any single blockchain, it's not about any single exchange. It's the fundamental technology that's being evolved, and it will continue to evolve because there's hundreds of millions of people looking at this industry right now, and you cannot erase the concept from people's heads. You'll just have to continue to evolve. Right. So I'm very confident about the future prospects of blockchain technologies.
CZ is very bullish on crypto and confident about the future of this technology, as more players realize the importance of transparency, cooperation with the regulators, and focus on building good applications that solve real problems of the current financial system. What are your thoughts on CZ's take of the future of this industry? Will we learn the lesson? Or continue to repeat the same mistakes? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This is Let's Talk Crypto, and we'll see you in the next video.